Spurge here, and in this video we're going to break down the new Alpinestars Ardent 3-in-1 Adventure Touring Jacket. Now, the 3-in-1 talks about the fact that this is a 4-season jacket from Alpinestars. There is a full sleeve thermal, a full sleeve waterproof, and then the outer shell. You can also use those waterproof liners and those thermal liners as destination liners as well. But there's just a little bit of a red accent zipper there where Mr. McHugh and I differ on exactly how that looks, but we'll get into that in a little bit. This jacket's going to come in around the $430 price point, and really this is aimed at you adventure touring riders out there. Now that's going to be key because this isn't going to be one of those Alpinestars pieces that's truly geared at fully aggressive off-road only. They are trying to kind of split the difference between those of you out there spending half of your time touring with your ADV bike and the other half of your time riding off-road. And really, as we get through this, I think we've seen Alpinestars push further and further into this world recently with their adventure style gear. And this one kind of works and kind of doesn't depending on the area that we're looking at. And we're going to break all that down in this video, starting with sizing. So sizes for this will range from a small up to a 4XL, 3 different colors available. However, the sizing on this does not fit like any other Alpinestars jacket I have ever worn. If you're using the size chart, Mr. McHugh on my left-hand side as my stylish model stands at 6 feet tall, weighs around 220 pounds, and has a 44-inch chest. According to the current Alpinestars sizing chart, he should be in a 2XL. He's currently wearing a large, and as you can see, there's still plenty of room in the midsection here. In fact, if he wasn't wearing the liners, he could actually wear the shell sized down into a medium. So this is a completely different cut that Alpinestars is going with, aimed at the American market. So what we would recommend for you is if you're using the current size chart, and you can tell if the size chart has been changed after we shoot this. So at the time of shooting this video, if you look at a 44-inch chest measurement, that would put Pat into a 2XL. We would recommend sizing down 2 sizes, and then Pat would go with the large that he's wearing right now. If you are looking at that and a 44-inch chest shows you that you are in a large, that is an updated size chart. Alpinestars is telling us that they are working on an updated size chart. So just keep that in mind. Start by looking at the size chart, and to make sure that the size chart has been updated, look at where that 44-inch chest falls into play. So there are going to be matching pants with this, and Pat is wearing those right there. There's going to be a separate video on those, so if you have questions about fitment or exactly what the pants give you, you can check out that video. Now, if you're looking within Alpinestars line, where does this fall? This would be slightly above the Andes. You can check out the Andes V3 if you want to go with something that is a non-removable waterproof liner. That is a slight step down from what we're seeing with the new Ardent 3-in-1. So let's work our way through this and talk about the likes and the dislikes of what we're seeing with this new jacket. Starting with the collar, I like the snapback design on this, comfort line to the back, and this is going to utilize Alpinestars slider system that you can see right here. So if you are snapped in and you like to wear your collar completely closed, you can fine tune how tight you want that to fit. But both Pat and myself like to wear this in the snapback position, like the fact that that's in there. From a material standpoint, there's a combination of different materials coming into play here. There's 300D ripstop nylon. There's 1200D, which is going to be in your key impact zones. And then you're also going to see, as we work our way through the liner a little bit, the liner has a different material as well. But really what I want to focus on is those 2 main outer construction materials that we're going to see first and foremost. So you're going to have ripstop across the chest. And then even as we're looking at the top here, there's no real ripstop working its way through the outside of the shoulder. You are going to get that beefed up 1200D, but it would have been nice to have a cap kind of coming over the seams on this. That ripstop is going to work its way down the inside. You are going to have 2 adjusters. You have a snap adjuster at the bicep and a Velcro adjuster at the forearm. And then just taking a look at the venting on this, it's a little bit awkward to reach over and grab the vent and pull it out. We like the design as far as the fact that the vent kind of opens itself up. The only real concern here as we're looking at both the forearm vent as well as the bicep vent is if you're using this in tighter East Coast adventure riding, where you are potentially getting this snagged on bushes or trees, this could be a potential fail point in the long run. So just keep that in mind. If you are running this in tighter conditions, in more of an off-road situation, the vents could potentially get snagged. But if you're just using this as a street kind of touring jacket or maybe some light off-road use, those vents shouldn't pose a problem for you. The only thing to note is it is a little bit awkward to kind of reach over and pull the vents open whilst wearing it. Velcro closure at the cuff on this, very simple in its design, nothing too complex, no extra zippers there. As you're looking down the front, LX111 or III, Roman numeral for 63. Alpinestars was founded in 1963, and you're going to see that asymmetrically done on the right breast, not on the left breast, over top of that popper reflective. Massive vent panels down the front on this. You are going to have Velcro at the top. Male Velcro on this side could potentially kind of rub against your vent paneling here in the long run, but in the short term, really no issues. This kind of folds down, and then it tucks away down below. And really what you're getting there is just a massive vent panel on the front. You are going to have top loading pockets. The one note here is if I reach back here, there's no hand warmer style pocket, so you're really just getting that top loading pocket on this. Slight little cover for the zipper. We were reading some comments from customers out there already using it, and they were saying they were concerned with the zipper scratching the tank. This is really designed for more of that upright ADV riding position, so I really don't see many people out there laying over on their tank. And at the bottom, you do have a little bit of a zipper coverage here, just where it might potentially rub up against the tank. McHugh, I'm gonna have you face sideways for me, strike the riding position. So the other note on fitment, we talked about the fact that the sizing on this is much more generous than what we typically get with Alpinestars. There are these large Velcro adjusters on the side, and I would like this if it was done more like some of the other kind of adventure stuff that we've seen from Alpinestars, maybe more the dirt stuff. But as it sits right now, this flap is attached to the front. If this was going through a buckle and then coming back around, I think that would be cool. I like how wide it is, but you kind of almost have to shove the material underneath, which just kind of gives it a bulky look to it. But you do have these large adjusters here. I would just like to see maybe an iteration on this, maybe a little bit of stretch material at the front just to give it a little bit more give than what we're currently seeing. But if you are trying to fine tune the fit, you do have these large Velcro panels right here. Could just be executed a little bit better in future iterations. As you're working down the arm, you can see exactly what I was talking about. The actual start point for the zipper is all the way around towards kind of the back of the elbow. You are getting that 1200D material down the outside of the forearm for your impact zones. The armor in this, in the elbows and in the shoulders, is going to be Alpinestars CE Level 2 Nucleon Flex Pro. And this is a very sophisticated armor, very lightweight, very breathable, and very comfortable while still giving you CE Level 2 protection. The jacket itself is CE AA for abrasion resistance. Go ahead and face backwards for me. Pocket for the Nucleon back protector not included, and you have these exhaust vents at the back. So if you're looking for a jacket, when they're talking about fourth season, you know, oftentimes I run hot, maximum amount of ventilation. So you can have the exhaust vents at the back. You do have a storage pocket, a little bit of popper reflective with the Alpinestars logo. This is going to be for storing those extra liners with you. And then you can see how far down the drop seat goes with this. So very maximized with coverage when it comes down. The only thing to note here is that you can see that if Pat is in the seated position, he's going to be almost sitting on the jacket with how far the drop seat is with this particular one. Sir, I'm going to have you turn around and unzip. And let's just take a look at what we're talking about. So these were the red zippers. Pat felt, as he was trying this on, the red zippers were just kind of too contrasty to use the liners as a actual kind of, you know, standalone liner. I don't mind the red accent to it, and I think that the liner system would be great as a, you know, if you wanted to just sit around the campfire and wear it as a waterproof liner, take the outer shell off, I think it would work really well for that. If we open up the inside, you can see the thermal liner zips to the rain shell. You can kind of mix and match how you want to use those. You can use it with just the thermal. You can take the thermal out. You can use it with just the rain shell, or you can take both out and just use it as an outer shell. Taking a look just for a second back here at the inside, you do have an option for adding a chest protector. You do have a connection zipper at the back on this. You do have adjustability with the ripcord at the bottom, and then just some simple drop pockets on the inside. So sir, you can go ahead and zip up. So really the too long didn't read is that this is a pretty sophisticated step with Alpinestars adventure line as far as getting you a 3-in-1 option here. I really see this as being ideal for people using this mostly as an adventure touring jacket with some light off-road use thrown in. Alpinestars has a lot of other options for people that are going harder off-road. This is something that I would see as more of a light off-road, more of an opportunist for touring out there. You get maximum ventilation, you're gonna get maximum comfort, you can mix and match those liner systems out there. Probably just not something that I would wanna take too aggressive off-road. But like I said, there's a lot of options out there in Alpinestars line to choose from. And if you're not sure as to whether or not the Ardent is right for you and your riding style, you can start by clicking the info button on your desktop or mobile device where you're watching this video, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting this through its paces. And if you're still not sure as to which setup is right for you, or maybe you have some questions on sizing, you can always reach out to one of our customer service reps and they can walk you through all the different options available to make sure that you find the right gear for your riding style as well as your budget. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at the Alpinestars Ardent 3-in-1 Adventure Touring Jacket. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.